Hello, today is the 27th of December and let's start. We are in Sydney, Australia. We are in the afternoon. The sun will set here and let's see what happens. This is the sun and then this is the sun, which is setting. I can see a wall of chemtrails and 5 minutes by 5 minutes, let's see what happens. The sun has set. 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, there is another light, white light, which is increasing. 20 minutes later, 25 minutes later, and what they do, they are covering everything because you don't have to see. 30 minutes later or 35 minutes later, and the wall begin to grow. And please see this frame. One, two, and three. These are, I think, machinery that has produced all this wall. In any case, this is the light which comes from the system closing. This is the light 30-40 minutes after the sunset. And this is the south hemisphere. Now let's go in Zanzibar, Africa. The sun is setting, frame by frame, 5 minutes, and this is the first block they are creating. Please see this unreal shape. This cloud is created and it will remain here for a long time. Heavy metals everywhere, confusion, white light, red light. 5 minutes later, big powerful light, white light, and this creation is still here. 5 minutes later, white light, big powerful light. This is, in my opinion, the second sun, which is yellow. There is a white light, a yellow light. This is the first reflection. Chemicals everywhere to hide, but it is too big. Please see here. Two different reflections in the water. Which is the sun? The sun has set. Do you remember? The sun, okay, has set, and in this moment, 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 25 minutes later, this is the situation. 1, 2, 3, and here there are two different big reflections, not opinion, not theories. 30 minutes later, please see the big reflection in the water. Do you think is it the sun? No, the sun has set here 30 minutes ago. This light doesn't come from the sun. This is the big second sun, I think. And 40 minutes later, this is the situation. Triangular shape, confusion everywhere, but it is impossible that you don't see this. This is 50 minutes, 1 hour later, the sunset. This is the reality. And please see this. Naxos, this is Greece. in the north hemisphere. We are in the morning. This is the first light. Confusion everywhere, white light, big powerful light. They try to cover, but it is really very powerful. It is white. 20 minutes later, 25, 30 minutes later, please see this explosion. Please see here, triangular shape. This is a typical triangular shape. They are trying to cover this big light, triangular shape as usual, triangular shape, interlocking system. More than one machinery is working, so you don't see. We are 50 minutes after the first light, and then maybe we can see the sun, maybe. This is the sun, okay, with this big ball which is reflecting. And please see another machinery is working to block. And here is they have to block the sun, because in the first hours in the morning there is sometimes an eclipse by a big object. This is what they do. Triangular shape. Do you think is it the case? No. They are working. Dark gray clouds. As usual, triangular creations. This is Tenerife, Spain. We are in the afternoon. A big sun. You can see here, sun simulator. In this moment, the sun is crossing with Nemesis system. So big light, powerful light. This is the second sun. The sun is setting, but it is meeting the powerful light of the second sun. 20 minutes later, 25. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is the sun, but in this moment it was crossing Nemesis system. This is not the light of the sun. This is the small light of the sun which is crossing Nemesis system. In any case, from this moment the sun has set. Okay? Okay. 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, a big white light comes from another source. 15 minutes later, purple, violet, big white light. 20 minutes later, 25 minutes later, red. And please see this formation, please see this angle. Okay, central body, couple, dome. And this is exactly the same angle here and here. This is a formation to block, to confuse, so you cannot understand the red here, white here. They want to confuse. We are more or less 40 minutes later, and this creation is still here as the beginning. This is the reality. It is still here. And again, it doesn't move, because it's a machinery. And this is the powerful white light. I think comes from Big Blue, Nibiru, or an artificial starship, because the yellow light comes from the second sun. But this is a white light, and please see this creation. It's incredible, but this is the reality we are living. This is 45, 50 minutes later. How is possible? The sun has set. Where does this light come from? It's not possible from our sun. Also a child can understand this. Florida, Clearwater Beach. We are in the morning. The first light you can see is this. 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, I think this is the real light of the second sun. Very big, yellow. 20 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 25 minutes later, but this is the other light. So yellow light and white light, but in my opinion coming from the system, not from the sun. The light has started 20-25 minutes ago. Where is the sun? You will see later, 25, 30, 35, 40. Here is the sun. But where does this light come from? 25, 20 minutes before. And this light, 30 minutes before. This is, in my opinion, a big yellow giant, which is the second sun, in my opinion. And then the big white light. And then 40, 50 minutes later, the first lights, the sun. And please see what a sun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Petals everywhere, white in the middle, yellow around, unreal, without any rays. Now it's changed color. The sky changed colors. Let's see what happens. It will change the shape. And let's see the reflection. It will reflect a ball, because this is an hologram. And these are petals, artificial light. The sun doesn't produce these petals. If you take a picture of the light of your car in front, you will see that it is the same, petals everywhere, because the artificial light produces red petals, like this. This is not the sun. And then let's see these unreal rays. And now it becomes bigger, bigger, unreal sun. The light is quite blue in the sky, and now let's see the size, how will reduce in a moment. Now the sun will return normal. But before it was a giant, a big giant. How is possible? Because something blue is eclipsing this sun. This is the reason. So, north hemisphere, south hemisphere, everywhere in a day we can see these things. I say you, how is possible? I think, and I'm sure of what I'm saying, but I say I think, the Earth's surface is flat. We are not a ball. These are only theories. I'm showing you with proofs that the system is everywhere in the same time. In my opinion, we are flat. Bye bye.